Greetings and salutations, my geeks, nerds, gamers, and lanners. Today we are going to be looking at electricity for beginners. Now, in 7 Days to Die, electricity and powering up your base can be a bit intimidating. So I am hoping that with these 3 tutorials, I will be able to show you the basics of electricity, how to set things up, and how electricity can help you survive the Horde Night. Without further ado, let us begin. Alright, so in 7 Days to Die, you will find electric items within the POIs and areas that you will be looting. I'm going to be taking you step by step through each and every item to explain their uses and also how to configure. In this episode, I'm just going to be explaining the basic rules around setting up your electricity, how to see the best way of rigging your base. So, let's begin. Now, you will find a lot of schematics revolving around electricity. A lot of these you will be able to also obtain by going into your intelligence and going under advanced engineering, whereby you will be able to craft all your electrician items. So, as we discussed in previous episode regarding building your workbase, you will note that under intelligence you will be able to obtain the ability to craft electric items. Now, for example, your first 2 levels are plain and simple as far as the workstations are concerned. However, when you move over to level 3, this is when we start working on electrician and electric items. So on level 3, you are now electrician. Learn to craft generators, build advanced base defenses such as electric fences and blade traps, as well as gain your 20% XP from electric truck kills. And then of course all your forge recipes are 10% less, and electrical devices cost 15% less. So we're going to quickly level ourselves all the way up to a beautiful level 10 and then gain our electrician. Now, this is not the only way that you will be able to obtain the ability to craft these items. Another way is through schematics. So as you can see, my skills have opened up pretty much every single one of the schematics except for the SMG turrets, so I'm going to use that. Now I can craft SMG turrets as well. With electricity, the first thing that we need to talk about is power generation. So there are 3 main ways of generating power. The first one, which is the most basic one, is the generator bank. Now, the generator bank runs on these little engines and requires gas in order to run. So, let's quickly pop these all into my hotbar. Now, placing a generator is like placing any other block. What you need is you left click to rotate and you right click to place. Also note that if you are within your land claim, if you hold in E to interact, you can open the generator in order to add your engines and to refill. You can also switch it on and off, but you can also pick up the generator. So if you place the generator and you want to move it somewhere else, you can do that. So one of the other things about the generator is that it requires engines to run. So, as we add in an engine, it also quickly refills. So, you'll see that your generator takes a maximum of 1000 fuel at a time. If you add one engine, you can see my maximum output is 50. Now, what this means, let's quickly find something that requires a lot of power. For example, our blade traps. If I'm not mistaken, our blade traps require approximately 20 power. Let's look. Yes. So, you will need, in order to hook up your power, you will need the wiring tool. So, to wire up something, you right click on your generator and you right click on the item that you want to hook it up to. Now, this is the first rule. The power cables will always move from the power source to the item you want to power. So for example, if I want to hook these blade traps up in a daisy chain, I cannot put it from here to here, because if you can see the cable, how it's running, it's expecting the power to come from here to there. And if I try to hook this one up now to this one, that one disconnected. So that is why you need to always make sure that you take your power from the power source to the item that you want to power up. There we go. So currently now, I will be requiring 20 plus another 20 and another 20. So 60 watts of power. If I go back here to my generator, you will see my maximum output is 50. So if I turn it on, you'll see my first two blades start moving, whilst my last one does not, because I do not have enough power to run it. Another cool thing to see is that if I hover over my new blade trap, you will see that the 20 is now in yellow. This means that it has power. If I go here, switch it off, you'll see it switches off again. So what we're going to do is we're going to go hook up another engine. Now we've got a maximum output of 100 watts. I turn on, and there we go. Also, another way to see if you have sufficient power, or to find out how much power you are currently drawing, interact with your generator, and you will see here at the bottom it says power 600 watts. 60 watts, my apologies. So this is telling you exactly how much power you are currently putting out. So let's turn that off and look at some other items that you will find. So the next things we are going to be looking at is switches and relays. These help you give additional control over your power, as well as extend the reach of your power. Now, the three main ones are this electric timer relay, the electric wire relay, and so the next thing we're going to be looking at is switches and relays. Now these come in three flavors. You have the switch, you have the timer, and you have an electric wire relay. Now, how these work is these allow you to control your power. The switch will allow you to activate and deactivate the power manually. So for example, I put up a switch here. I'll connect that to my light, connect that to my blade trap. I turn on my power, and nothing happens. As you can see here, this little light is red. And also note that all your relays and your timers use wattage as well. So if I go and interact with here, you can see my power output is currently 1 watt. However, if I hit the switch, my traps come on and I'm using 61 watts. Okay, so that is fantastic, that is awesome. But now let's say I want to hook up that wire trap over there. So I'm going to select here, I'm going to move all the way here, and oh dear, I can't connect. You can see my wire is now red. I cannot connect. Now, how do I get my power from there to here? Well, all we do is we put in a relay. So as you can see here, let me quickly put up a series of relays here. You can see that I can now take power from my blade trap to my relay, from my relay to my blade trap, and we are connected. Also note that the relays do have a limited number of connections. So for example, I can hook that up to now. I've got 1 connection coming in. I've got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's see how many more I can do. I know there is a limit. There we go. We have reached the maximum amount of connections. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's 10 connections maximum for one relay. So you can see we have got 1 coming in. Then we'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 going out. Plain and simple. And always remember, you connect from where the power is coming from to where the power is going to. Now, there are a lot of other items that use power. For example, oh wait, before we go there, the next thing that we are going to be looking at is the electric time relay. So this is a really useful little app. As you can see, if we hover over and interact, we can actually set times. So for example, it is now almost 10 o'clock, so I'm going to set this to 10. So it's going to switch on at 10 and switch off at 11. Okay, now I'm going to disconnect that, hook that up to this, hook this up to here. Now you can see my power is on, but due to my timer, my blades are off. If we wait until 10 o'clock, we'll see what happens. And there we go, 10 o'clock hits and my power starts going out. Blades are running as per usual, and that should continue until 11 o'clock. And there you go. 11 o'clock has come and gone, and the power is now off. But Mr. G, what's the point of having a timer? Very simple. during the day, while the generator is running, it is using gasoline, okay? And you might not want to waste power during the day. So what I normally do is I will hook up my light to things like the timer, okay? So if it gets dark outside, so I know that the nighttime is about 8 o'clock. So what I will do, I'll go to my timer. I will move this to 8 o'clock at night, and I will end this at, say, 5 in the morning. Okay, so let me just quickly disconnect that. Quickly go grab some lights. Now you'll see there are quite a few different lights available in 7 Days to Die. We'll start off with the basic light. So this is a nice one to have basically all over your area, especially if you're working with small areas. Then we have the industrial light, which is more of a directional light. We also have the industrial bulb, and we have the spotlight. Now what's really cool with the spotlight is we can actually not only change its orientation, but we can also aim it. So if I click on there, aim. Nope, I must power it before I can use it. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to quickly hook up our power. And we're going to daisy chain all of them. And we're going to wait for 8. So, sun is busy setting. The darkness is coming. And at 8 o'clock, lights come on. Okay, so you can also go to the individual lights and switch the individual lights off and on as you want. What's really cool is that it doesn't mess up with the daisy chain. The spotlight. This is a really cool. So if I just hit E on the spotlight, I switch it on and off. However, if I hold on and I go to the aim, I can then actually aim the spotlight. So let's say I want to aim it right there. Now I switch it on, boom. That is now lit up. Let's take it over there. Boom. Now it's lighting up this whole area. Okay. So that's the basics of the electricity for 7 Days to Die. You'll also see there are triggers that are available. Now these triggers and that I will go into more depth about them in the next episode. If you have a look at the doors, I will also go into more depth with them in the next episode. So for now, all I want to say to you guys is I hope you enjoyed, and goodbye.